welcome to the Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. I want to, quick shout out to our sponsor, Larry H. Miller Toyota in Murray, where you're not just a customer, you're family. Just check them out, larryhmillertoyota.com, or run by Murray and go in there and check out the 4Runners and Land Cruisers and everything else. They've got amazing vehicles for you to pick. Another goalie on the show today. Excited. And Michael, I've talked about you a lot. First off, Michael Hrabal. Is that how you say it? I've heard so many different pronunciations. What's the correct way to say your last name?
In Czech, it's like Michal Hrabal, but people call me like Hrabal, Hrabal. It doesn't really matter. It's me.
Okay. Yeah, we just got used to Vamelka, and the first time I met him, he told me it was Vegmelka. So then I went on
It's
saying that,
actually
but
Vejmelka, but
yeah.
it's hard in translation, so I don't think anyone really cares.
Well, that's nice. I know some people get really upset about it, so I'm glad you're a little more laid back. Because Utah's going to struggle with it for a little bit, but I have a feeling we're going to be saying your name for a long time. First off, welcome to Utah, man. How are the lungs after a day of skating?
Uh, yeah, I mean, a little bit tired. The altitude isn't easy, but I think the body's gonna get adapted. I know, like last year, I had the same issue, but I love it here. It's so nice here, and I'm excited to be here.
So you're from Prague, right? Is that your hometown?
It is, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about growing up in Prague, how you found hockey, what got you into it?
Yeah. I mean, I love Prague. It's such a beautiful city, big city, and like all Europe, great public transportation, so you can get anywhere. Hockey, how I started, I'd say my dad, he had a big involvement in it. He used to take me to like games. He got tickets to the Czech Pro League from his job. So that's kind of where I fell in love with the game. Going public skating, during Christmas with my sister, saw some like posters like let's play hockey, and I was like, yeah, like I want to do that. So I told my dad I want to start playing hockey. I said that it will be my last wish ever, last wish for Christmas ever. So he agreed, and so I'm very thankful that he let me, gave me the opportunity to start playing hockey, and that's how I started.
Did you know right from the start that you wanted to be in the net?
um Not really. I started in like second, third grade when I was like 8 or 9. And like in Czech, where I'm from, like you don't play, like full ice when you're this young. You just play like in a period, like 3-on-3. Um, and we had two teams and just one goalie, so we needed one other goalie. So we always like switched, like one game this guy, other game this guy, and I really enjoy when I was in the net. And I think I wasn't even like that bad. So I told my dad I would love to be a goalie, and he made it possible.
Was that your next Christmas wish? Was a full set of gear?
Might be, yeah. Like the team helped me out first a little bit, but like my dad, my parents both, they were always very supportive with what I did, and always tried to help me as much as possible.
How do you make the transition from Prague to the USHL?
Um, it was like before I was 17, like my dad was always telling me that there's this way to go college, play hockey, get scholarship. Like my parents were always very uh about education, so I'm also very thankful for that like my English is pretty good, and it's not all about hockey. And I knew that like if I want to go college, I have to leave Czech, because I was playing in U20, my U17 year, and it wouldn't be enough for me the next year. And so if I played the pro league, I wouldn't be able to go college. So we were discussing with agent my options, and then USHL was one of the options. Omaha, they traded for me, and I'm very thankful for trust that they trusted me and gave me the opportunity to play for them.
Just what kind of a culture shock is that? And like, I've been to Czech, like I in Prague, and it's beautiful, and it's just, or city like and foresty, and then you show up in Omaha. Is that like your, hey, here's America, it's Omaha?
Yeah. I'd say there's definitely like a cultural difference, but I don't think it's that bad. Like for example, as I talked about the public transport, like here in USA, you need to have a car,
Yeah.
which is something, you know, like if you don't have a car, you struggle a little bit. You're dependent on other people. And like talking about people, I think people are more kind here in the US. Like back where I'm from, like everybody just takes care about their own business. No one really cares about each other. If I say it like that, like I don't know any of my neighbors in my apartment. So
Wow.
that's for example. But I love it here, and I would love to live in USA and play hockey here.
So that was the goal the whole time? Like you started playing and you knew you were good and you're like, I want to play college hockey. That was
Yeah,
really the goal?
yeah, my dad, as I said, he kind of showed me that there's this way, and then I'm like, yeah, I like it. And as you know, like college, it's a great league. Many great names come up from it, and in my opinion, like for a goalie, it's even better because you get time for development, and it's a great step between junior hockey and the pro hockey.
When you're in that development stage, what goalies are you watching and developing your game after? Who are you kind of mimicking?
Yeah, my favorite goalie was always Henrik Lundqvist, but I wouldn't even compare my style to him. I'd say Jake Oettinger or Jacob Markstrom like are very similar goalies size wise and even like with the style. So I love watching them even now. But I always say that I like to watch any goalie in the NHL. You know, there's a reason why they are there, and they're one of the best in the world. So there's always something you can take from anyone in the league.
So as you start developing and now you get the opportunity to kind of pick whatever equipment you want and modify. I was an equipment rep for a long time and I'd go to these young pros and we'd make them 5 6 sets of pads because they're experimenting with what pad worked best, what strap worked best, what calf wrap worked best, what landing gear. Like, did you go through all that? And what kind of gear do you wear? And how did you settle on it? And do you tweak it a lot?
Yeah. So I since seventh grade I've been in Bauer, and I've been in Bauer since then. I get to experience gear after draft when like you get some PR that the brands they see some opportunity with you. So I get to experience other brands. But since then I still like I love Bauer. Uh, but we'll see what happens at the beginning of the season.
Do you have much of a relationship with Veggie? Are you guys, I imagine you only get to talk a couple times a year, or do you have a good relationship with him?
I talked with him after the draft, but since then we didn't cross contact. He's way older than me, and he
Yeah.
lives like, in a different part of Czech. So unfortunately, we didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna see if maybe he'd try to get you into Brian's gear or anything, but you're Bauer head to toe.
Yep.
Okay. All
Since
right,
yeah,
that's good to
yeah.
know. Um, s- Speaking of all that, I've been, I added you last year on Instagram and maybe X. I'm not sure. And you were making some posts this summer, and all of a sudden there's Yager in one of your posts. Are what was that about? Are you friends with Yager?
No, no. Um, so one of my friends, big friends from college, Dan Flochmelis, he's drafted by the Bruins, signed after this season. He posted like 12 points in 6 games in the AHL, like great player. Uh, Played in 3 World Championships for Latvia. So I'd say he's one of my biggest friends. He came to visit me in Prague, and you know, uh, Prague's famous for its nightlife, so he definitely wanted to try it out. And there's like I think everyone in the hockey world knows that there's this bar in Prague that's famous that just hockey players go there.
Oh,
So somehow we ended up in there, and he wanted to take picture with Jagr. He's probably the most famous Czech person, and I bet like a lot of people asking him to take pictures. So
Yeah, I
he,
bet it's nonstop. But if you're like, hey, I'm a drafted guy too, I'm like, I'm one
yeah,
of
yeah,
you.
and he plays with one of the big friends who plays for his team. But like I kind of understand it. Like, so he wants his own space. So it's hard because like I don't have that experience, but I bet a lot of people ask him to take pictures. So it was nice time. He got a picture, so he was very happy, my friend.
I had known Yager a little bit when I was a rep, and then I ran into him in Vegas, and all of our friends had already been having some adult beverages, and just immediately went up to his table. We're at a very nice restaurant, and just immediately started taking pictures with him. And he was actually really cool about it. It was just him and some beautiful girl. But yeah, he seemed decent. Maybe when he's home, he just wants to be home, and that's where his safe place is, right?
I don't know. I don't know like much about him like from his personal life, so I don't judge.
That's good. That's good.
He's just enjoying his after career, I guess.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you're playing juniors. You know you're going to get drafted. I hear there's a little bit of a hiccup between knowing that you're going to get drafted and getting to the draft to be drafted. What happened there?
Yeah, just there was supposedly some storm when we landed in New York with my parents and sister, and we were supposed to fly to Nashville right after, but no flights were leaving New York, so we were stranded there, and there wasn't any much options because like they offered me a flight like that would be like 2 days after the draft because like 10,000 of people were stuck there. The only option was to borrow a car, so we had to do that. But both of my parents they forgot their license because they didn't even forgot. They didn't think they will need it. So just my sister had it. She was 22 at that time, so she had to uh, drive like a 14-hour way in one day. So I'm very thankful, and she did a great job.
Yeah, that's a rough way to get to the draft, but the draft went pretty well when you got there, right? Did you have any idea who was going to take you or where you were going to go?
Um, like when I was talking to my agent, like he told me like I should go between 20 and 40. Uh, I had some signals from teams that needed goalie, and Arizona back in that day was one of them. So it was fun. I was very thankful that my family was there, which was big because I didn't get to see them as much because I play in the USA. So I think I'll never forget that experience.
What's so Arizona picks you. Do you look at the depth chart at Arizona and say like I think I can make it this year or in a couple years? And then when you're watching all the drama unfold with Utah, what was going through your head through all of that?
Um, Personally, I wouldn't say that I like watch like depth chart or anything. I just try to focus on myself. Like I know there's still things I need to work on to be able to get to a level as NHL. But I think if I keep working and keep up good work, like one day it is possible. And with Utah, it might sound silly, but my goal is to play in the NHL, and it doesn't matter where it is. So it doesn't matter if it's Arizona or Utah. I just want to step on the ice of an NHL rink.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Um, who's your goaltender? Do you have a goalie coach at home that you go to all the time?
I do, yeah.
And then do you have a different one at college, right?
Yes.
And then now you have a different one with with Utah,
Yeah.
With Schwab, right? How do you balance all that? Do they all understand your system, your style, the way you prefer to play? Do they keep adding things to you?
Yeah. I would say so. Like, everyone has a different style, but they're just trying to give me advice how to like play situation because at this age, I don't think it's much about changing like your posture or anything. It's more about just reading plays, changing like kind of like different things you can do like on your post and stuff, how to play things differently. So I think I get to hear from all of them, but mostly like they don't want to, you know, have that they don't want me to have way too much information. So mainly I talk with my UMass goalie coach.
Oh, nice. And, famously, it's been reported all over the internet. You were offered a contract this year with Utah. You turned it down. You're planning on going back to UMass again this year. Um, I know that you probably got to sit down and talk with your agent. And was that the plan before? Did you figure they were going to offer you a contract, and you and your agent had already been like, okay, this is where we are maturity wise, and this is where they are in their depth chart. Let's wait a year, or was it you want to go back and finish school?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good year. The beginning was a little bit worse, but I think the coaches they squeeze me. They show me what they want from me, and I think I delivered. I was there for the team. Um, like as I said, my parents they're very about education. I take more classes than I could, but so uh, I have it scheduled to graduate in 3 years. That means after the next season. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna get the contract offer, but after I sit down with my parents and agent, we all agreed that there's no reason to rush. I'm still 20, and as I said, like I don't I graduated in the U.S. I didn't graduate back home, which would make a big problem if I anything happened and I would have to work at home. So I think the the diploma from my Czech USA school will be big for me.
Oh yeah, that's very. I didn't think about that. How different was the schooling coming from a Czech school to a U.S. school? So you went to high school in Omaha?
Yeah, I did online high school in Omaha.
Oh, online. Well, how different is it? How does it feel?
So in Czech, I went to a Czech English school, which I think prepared me a lot. It was pretty good, pretty hard school. So it wasn't a hard transition. And since I started high school in US, ChatGPT came up to life. So I'm not saying I'm using it, but uh, it exists.
Yeah, nice. It's good. Oh, it's good to have tools to lean on, right?
Yeah.
You talked about an amazing year. You said you had, it was a little rough at the beginning, but then you had a pretty good year. I'd say you had better than a pretty good year. And I want to jump to, and especially when you're on the ice with some Team Canada guys, and you want tell me some of the highlights. Like you had an amazing World Juniors. Can you tell us some of the highlights from you and what you thought about World Juniors as it was going on? And any of the Team Canada boys mad at you for sending them home?
Um, I would probably start with me knowing going into the tournament that it's going to be my last game in the junior national team. So I was just going there to enjoy it, be with my friends. I think we had a great group, which also like made a big difference while we were going down the stretch to like the important games. My family was there, which also was big. I didn't see them for a couple months, and I was very thankful for them to be there and support me. And playing against Canada in a sold out arena, the whole country watching, like it was a great experience. And that was a cherry on top that we managed to win from the team. I think called Baudouin, or however you say it.
Yeah.
He's here right now. He's in my group, so we got to talk a little bit about it. I like to joke, but I don't take it seriously. It's just a game. One game doesn't mean that much, but I'm thankful that we managed to get a bronze. But I think we even could have reached higher ranks.
Yeah, you guys were really catching fire at the right time. I know I'm at my time limit with you. I wanted to talk a lot about UMass, and like I think you had an amazing season there too. And but I don't want to keep you too long. All I want to say is one, thanks for being on the show. And Utah is really looking forward to you. I talk about you all the time on the radio and on the show here. I think I've watched you play a lot. I got to see you play a little bit in juniors. I watched like, every one of your World Junior games this year and some of your college games. I just love to watch you play, man. And I think you're going to fit right in here. And I think as everything matures with this team, I think you're going to come in and find a nice little fit here. And Utah's excited to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, and that is the Utah Puck Report.